Đã thông dụng nhất trong tiếng Anh cho nội dung trên có thể là I studied economics law at Da Nang University and graduated top of my class. It's a small achievement, but I'm proud of my dedication to studying. After graduating, I moved to Ho Chi Minh City for work. Over the past few years, I've mainly worked in the field of foreign investment in Vietnam, assisting investors in setting up companies, advising on M&A, and navigating business sectors with foreign investment conditions. At 27 years old, I feel it's time to determine my career path, to commit to a long-term journey. I've carefully considered before deciding to apply to the State Securities Commission of Vietnam. It's a pivotal decision for me, and I believe that if selected, I'll be a positive contributor to the organization and the overall development of Vietnam's securities market. I appreciate the opportunity to exchange ideas with you all, to better understand each other. Thank you. Certainly. Here's a more concise response. I am applying for the Market Development and Management Specialist position at the State Securities Commission of Vietnam because I am passionate about contributing to the development and regulation of Vietnam's securities market. With a background in economics law and experience assisting foreign investors, I believe I can support the Commission's mission to foster transparency and efficiency in the market. Regarding your second question, I am aware that the State Securities Commission of Vietnam oversees the regulation and development of the securities market in Vietnam. Currently, Vietnam's securities market is experiencing growth and undergoing regulatory reforms to enhance transparency and attract more foreign investment. Certainly. Here's the provided text. 1. Securities include the following assets. A. Shares, bonds, fund certificates. B. Warrants, secured warrants, pull options, depository receipts. C. Derivatives. D. Other kinds of securities defined by the government. 2. Shares are securities that certify their holders' lawful rights and interests to a portion of share capital of the issuer. 3. Bonds are securities that certify their holders' lawful rights and interests to part of the debt of the